Redhead here, and today I wanted to do another vlog on my infertility stuff. Mainly, this video is to teach you guys how not to be a douchebag. And this is where I would insert some wonderful, like, angelic voices. But anyway, so these are just a few very basic tips on what not to say and do when talking to your infertile friends. This is all things that I have encountered myself, and none of these things have ever been said maliciously. It is mainly because people just don't know what to say, how to say what they want to say, and they don't know how hurtful minor things can be said. And this, again, this does not pertain to every single infertile person. This is just my personal experiences. Okay, so let's start off. Don't send us positive pregnancy tests, like, out of the blue. That's not nice. It's really hurtful, actually. Like, I have no problem when my friends get pregnant. I just don't want to see their pee stick. There, I said it. I don't want to see a stick that you peed on. It's not cool. It's kind of gross, and really, it's not good. Like, when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, someone's sent me a message, like, oh, it's gonna be a picture, it's gonna be super fun, like, funny and fun, and I look at it and it's a positive test, and I'm going, awesome, my trash can is littered full of tests that are negative, but I'm gonna pretend like I'm really happy for you. Honestly, it's just not very nice. Like, I'm so happy for all of my friends, but I don't want to see that. Instead, just take the time to send us a short message saying, hey, I am pregnant. I wanted to let you know before you found out on Facebook because I care about you and I care about your feelings. That's it. Not hard. Very simple. It doesn't have to be some long message. Just a little short one that says, you know, hey, I'm thinking about you. I care about your sanity. And I wanted to let you know before you found out on Facebook. The second thing is, don't complain to us about your pregnancy or your kids. Like, I know being pregnant it's not always fun, and I know that kids aren't always fun, but we can't relate to you on that. I was talking with one of my really good friends who is dealing with infertility as well, and she specializes in maternity, birth, and newborn photography, which I will never understand. Good job to you for being the wonderful goddess that you are. Anyway, she was at a birth yesterday. She's taking some pictures for a client who had gone through infertility, and she was very connected with this client, very deeply. And in the room next door, she texted me and she said, there's a woman screaming like she's being murdered, and I'm jealous. And that just really, like, put into perspective that on your worst day, we still want to be you. We would give anything, thousands and thousands of dollars, to be in your shoes, even when it sucks. So please go find somebody that you can relate to on that level and complain to them, because we don't want to hear it. The next thing is, don't give advice. And again, this isn't anything mean or anything personal, and I know that people aren't ever saying these things in a mean way. But the advice like, oh, you should just really get drunk, or, oh, you just need to relax, or, well, have you tried standing on your head with your left leg facing north and your right arm touching the top of your head while your left arm is rubbing your stomach? Like, it doesn't work that way. We have exhausted all of these options, and it kind of puts the blame back on us. There is a lot of self-doubt and putting blame on yourself for situations that you can't control while dealing with all of this. And once you get to a certain point of being able to say, this isn't my fault, I am not to blame for this situation, and someone tells you you need to relax, your first thought is, maybe I should. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Maybe this really is all my fault. I'm not relaxing enough. It doesn't work that way, and it puts a lot of problems, and it kind of prohibits any self-improvement and any growing past certain points. Instead, just ask people, you know, where they are in their treatments, where they are in this journey. Be very genuine about it. I mean, if you don't want to hear about it, don't ask us about it. There's that. But if you do want to know where people are at, say, hey, what treatments have you tried? What options have you exhausted so far? Make it a very easy conversation for us to be able to open up to you about situations that are, not so fun. The last one is by saying you're so young. Infertility does not care about how old you are. There are plenty of women in their late 40s who have kids naturally with no problem. And then there's a lot of women who are my age in their early to mid 20s who have lots and lots of problems. Age is no factor in dealing with a lot of this. Sure, age does have an issue, and once you get older, it tends to be a little harder to get pregnant and you have a little bit more complications, but that's not always the case, not in stuff like this. Another thing I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit, I had some questions about this. Infertile does not mean barren. It's not that I can't have kids ever, I just can't have kids right now. Being barren is, you cannot have kids. You cannot have kids. Infertile is, it's a blanket statement for a lot of problems that can lead up to you not being able to have kids. There's a ton of different reasons that people have problems getting pregnant. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. And another thing, being infertile is categorized for trying for a full year without having any luck. So again, wanted to touch a little bit about that before I move on to the next section. Okay, so I am all done with the what not to say and do stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit about the questions that I have been asked. These are questions that I got on Tumblr, I got on Facebook, so I wanted to answer them right here. The first one is, have I met people during my trying to conceive journey who now have kids? The answer is yes. I have met quite a few people who have graduated past this level in their life and they now have kids, and I'm so happy for them. It's really great. The next thing is, how does it make me feel? Again, I'm very happy. I'm sad that I'm still in this point, but I'm so happy that they have gone past that. It's not to say that I'm not happy for people who don't have to deal with this. I'm more happy for people who have experienced what I'm going through and have gotten past it. It's a different sense of joy and happiness when you see people who truly are meant to be parents and truly have given thousands and thousands of dollars and time, and it's a different way, and you get a different sense of joy and happiness when they get past that point. It is a wonderful feeling to see your friends reach that end. And I've talked to a few friends of mine recently about this, and I asked them, like, how do you feel getting past that point and still seeing some of your friends struggle? And there's a sense of survivor's guilt in a small sense of they almost feel guilty that they have gotten past that. And I can only imagine that it's gotta be hard, because your infertility never leaves you. If you want to have kids again, you gotta go through this whole struggle again. You gotta spend the money again, and it's not always easy. I know there are a lot of people who actually have had a second or a third kid with no problems whatsoever, and that is just amazing. But for a lot of people, they either get their one kid and that's it. They literally cannot afford to try this process again, or they don't have eggs to try this process again. So there's that. All of my friends who have reached that point of being parents, I love you all. I'm so happy for you. You are definitely what gives me hope. You saw that light at the tunnel. You didn't give up, and I'm so blessed to know all of you. The next thing is, what do I do on a really hard day? I'm an introvert. I shut everybody off when I'm having a bad day, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I am definitely energized and recharged by being by myself. So I don't really respond to text messages or Facebook or Tumblr that day. I just take my time in my little box and I worry about me. And my sanity and my mental health is very important, and I need to take that time for me. So that is definitely how I cope on a really hard day. I just zone in on myself, close off, and don't think about the outside world for a little bit, watch some TV, play some games, just hang out with my dogs. It really, really helps me. I take my one day of wallowing in self-pity, and then I can pick myself up the next day and move on with my life. It's good for me. And the next question is, how does your husband cope and feel about all of this? He is my rock. He is so supportive of every weird thing that I've ever tried to get pregnant. And I love that about him, because it's never been an if we have kids, it's always been a when. And for me, it's always if. I have a lot more struggle seeing the end of the tunnel than he does. And I love that about him, because he's always so positive and so hopeful, and it's never been a worry or a concern for him. He's just so supportive and so great, and truly I can't imagine going through this with anyone else. He is always there for me. It's great. I am very lucky to have found someone who truly understands me, understands what I need to get by, and is just so supportive. The very last question is, did I anticipate any of this? Like I said in my previous video, I kind of anticipated something going wrong. I don't want to say going wrong, but growing up I knew that something just wasn't totally right. And when we wanted to have kids, I anticipated it taking maybe a year at max. I didn't anticipate it taking the now nearly 3 years it has. So yes and no, I did kind of anticipate it, but I didn't totally anticipate this entire journey. But honestly, I don't want to say that, like, if I had the chance, I would take away my infertility, of course, but I have met some of the most amazing people on this journey. My friends have been so wonderful. My family has been great. I have met people in different countries that are going through this. I've met people in different states. I've met people in my own state, and they're all so great, so wonderful. It's been quite a ride, and it's nowhere near being over, and I'm so blessed to have the people I do have in my life to help me along all of this. But that's all that I wanted to say on that. If you have any other questions, just let me know. I'll answer them. Okay guys, thanks so much for sticking with me. If you like this video, be sure to like and comment. If you want to see more videos like this and all my fun makeup ones, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. You're so wonderful, so important, so loved, so worthy of all the happiness in the whole wide world. Okay guys, I love you so much. Bye!